Hey, this is Mike Britton from Protellus. In this video, I'm going to talk you through a transformation of a website following the 6 items that are identified in my blog post about optimizing your homepage for human visitors. So we'll get started here. On this side, we have the original website for Mandahar Paralegal. It's the original homepage. And on the left side, I actually have the blog post up that I'm referring to. I'm actually going to scroll down to the 6 bullets that identify the areas that I want us to focus on. Remember, the idea behind this blog post is your website is like the reception area for your business. And so the things that you would take into consideration for your reception area are the same or very similar in concept to how you would think about your homepage. Is it visually appealing and giving a very good impression? Does it make your visitors feel welcome and know that they're at the right place? Does it help your visitors understand what your business is about? Does it help your visitors understand that you offer the products or services that addresses their needs? And does it invite the visitors in to find out more about the product or service? And finally, does it make it easy to ask questions or get answers or do a transaction if desired? So those are really 6 basic questions that if you had a physical location and a physical reception area, you would probably think about optimizing for your visitors. So we're going to show how to apply those same 6 principles to a website. So the first thing, is it overall visually appealing? And if you scroll through this website, first impression I would say is yes. I think it does give an overall good first impression. I think the colors that are used are nice. It's good balance, a consistent use of color, consistent use of fonts and font sizes and families. It's got nice bright imagery kind of scattered through with people looking directly into the screen and smiling. So I think that that's good. I think the color scheme that's used is consistent with the brand identity that's trying to be conveyed for a paralegal service. So it's not too bright and kind of too light for kind of the nature of the business. So I think overall it gives a good first impression. There are a couple of areas that would have the equivalent to a physical space need to be tidied up. So some of the justification, I think, in some of these sections could be cleaned up. Primarily, that's the areas, but overall, I think it's pretty decent. Does it help the visitors feel welcome and know they're at the right business? I think when you first get here and you see the hero video, um, you start to get a sense, yes, this is a legal services business. Um, there's a distinction between lawyers and paralegals, and unless I see this logo up at the top where it says Mandahar Paralegal, I wouldn't quite know that it's paralegal services versus a lawyer. And especially if I've scrolled down pretty quickly, I don't see paralegal coming up at all. So from a human standpoint, that's an issue, but also from a search engine optimization standpoint, that's an issue as well. So that's something that we probably want to address. Um, and then helping the business understand, does the website help you, the visitor, understand what the business is about? I think it does. A little bit. Again, we talk about small claims court, traffic tickets, landlord and tenant board are shown here. So from that standpoint, we know that, okay, this legal services business covers these areas. I'm still not quite sure, though, if those areas cover my problem or if they resolve my problem. So that kind of gets to the next bullet. Does the site help visitors understand whether the type of product or service addresses my specific needs? If I have a traffic ticket, then yes, but there are some things that fall under small claims court that I'm not quite sure if my issue does, or what types of things fall under the landlord and tenant board. So those types of things, I think it could be a little bit more helpful to a new visitor, to help them answer the question: does Mandahar Paralegal address my personal need? So that would be actually number five. Or I'm sorry, number four. Number five, the fifth bullet here is: does it invite visitors to explore products or services, or helps guide them to the areas of interest? And on this one, I would say it's got a little bit of room for opportunity, or a little bit of room for improvement, opportunity for improvement. Let me put it that way. Um, the here at the very beginning, when you get to the site, you're immediately invited for a free consultation. When you first land on the site, you're not quite sure if you want a consultation, and even after scrolling through here, if I have a topic or an issue that I'm looking for services on, legal representation on, and I'm not quite sure if it's small claims court or traffic ticket or landlord and tenant board, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm looking for a consultation. So I need to learn more. I need to understand more about what the service is. And the only thing I'm invited to do is request a free consultation. So I think that there's some opportunity there. And I have to actually scroll down pretty far before I start to understand, small claims court, what might be included in there. And it's a pretty small list that's included there. So my topic may or may not fall in under there. And if it's not obvious, it's not inviting me to learn more anywhere else. And if I haven't gotten here by this point to my area, I might have given up and gone on to the next site. So I think inviting the visitors to explore the products or services and guiding them to the area of interest, I think we've got actually a big opportunity to improve on that. And the final bullet here is: does it make it easy and fast to ask questions, get answers, and transact if desired? From that standpoint, I would say yes. You've got this let's chat box here at the bottom. You can enter, a message there and chat. You've got this free consultation where you can request, and then you've got a contact us button up here on the top. So I think from those standpoints, and this last bullet, it does make it easy and fast to ask questions. So now that's the original site. Now let's go to the transformed site. And I'll just do a kind of a side by side so you can see the changes. The first thing is on the, let me put that out of the way there. So you can see on the when you originally land on the site, there's a little bit more here in this title, in that it talks about the different areas of practice. So small claims, provincial offenses, landlord and tenant disputes. So immediately when I land here, I get some hint about whether or not this Mandahar Paralegal is going to cover my area of interest. And then as you scroll down, you see a new title, a new header title called Mandahar Paralegal Professional Corporation. And then it talks about the areas, Toronto and across Ontario. So now I've got confirmation that this is Mandahar Paralegal. So I'm at the right location. They provide paralegal services and provide service in Toronto and across Ontario. So that's very helpful. And then as I scroll down even further, you can see now I have a little bit more detail in each of these areas. Where it originally said small claims court, now it says small claims court and other civil matters. And then it gives some examples of what's included in that area. And then traffic tickets is more than just traffic tickets. It's municipal and provincial offenses. And then it enumerates the different acts and that might be covered under there. So again, if you've got a ticket or you've been charged, against one of the municipal bylaw, you could say, okay, yes, this is an area that applies to me. And then the next point here is, instead of inviting me for a free consultation, it invites me to learn more. So I think this might be the area for me. So I can click on this and it takes me to another section where I can learn more. And so I'll actually, before I do that though, just on the tidying up of the screen, you can see, the justification is a little bit different. We use bullets to pull out the information to make it very easy to scan through and identify the information of interest. Now I'll click on this and scan, and it takes me down. So if I've got a traffic ticket, it immediately takes me into the section that talks about protecting your record and the services provided for traffic tickets and other municipal or provincial charges. So it talks about the services there. It gives a little bit of explanation of why I would want to um, acquire Mandahar Paralegal Services, and then it gives more detail about the types of things that are covered there. And then finally, it invites me for a consultation. So now that you've learned more, give you a reason why you want to work with Mandahar Paralegal, now you are invited to have a consultation. So I think from that standpoint, we've made it easier to explore and understand what the whether or not the services meet the needs of the visitor. And then finally, just the last point on cleaning up the site or tidying up the site. I pointed out this area where we did the justification and the bullets. In this area as well, here's where we talk about the different services, negotiation, mediation, arbitration, and so forth. We haven't changed the content here much yet. We have cleaned up the justification, again, just to make it a little bit neater. I do want to spend some more time in each of these areas to explain these activities a little bit more, so to give the visitor a better sense when we talk about negotiation, what are some of the things that are included within the scope of that? What's included as part of mediation and arbitration? What's included as part of advocacy? Again, just to help the visitor understand a little bit more. So that's one of the things that's changed. And then in each of the sections, where as before we talked about small claims court, and you can see the formatting is a little bit different. There's a little bit more content in each section, again, with more examples and use of bullets to make it a little bit easier to identify. And then we've changed the formatting here, the color of the font to kind of make it stand out a little bit more, the call to action, right? So if you've got a civil dispute of $25,000 or less, so we've made it very clear, request a free consultation to discuss your options. So it's a little bit more clear as far as who should use that call to action and what they would discuss. And then you go through and look at the next one, protecting your record. Again, contesting traffic tickets. It talks a little bit about, originally it talked about hold on here. Yeah, so originally it talks just about traffic tickets, but we've made sure that the visitor understands that it's more than just traffic tickets, and we also explain why, again, they would want to engage with Mandahar's paralegal services. And then we've also expanded on the call to action a little bit more, just to visually bring it out, but then also in the explanation, make sure it's clear why they would want to use it. And then finally, for the landlord and tenant board, again, a lot more detail about what's included here, and then also a little bit more clarity on the call to action. So those are the changes on the transformation of the website. I'm very pleased with it. The time will tell as we get more and more time with the website if when we look at the analytics with the number of visitors, how long the visitors stay, and so forth, and whether those visitors turn into actual inquiries, we'll find out. But I'm optimistic that the changes are definitely in the right direction. Thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk to you.